For many, a Maserati is the kind of car you dream about as a kid and promise yourself when you make it. But under all the style and excitement, not every Maserati lives up to the dream. In fact, some are closer to financial nightmares than automotive fantasies. Maserati has gone through a dramatic transformation since decades ago. It moved from being a boutique brand to a semi-mainstream luxury carmaker. In doing so, the company tried to blend Italian flair with broader appeal. Sometimes they nailed it. Other times, they built cars that looked fast but fell apart quicker than the market expected. In this video, we'll separate the beauty from the beast, guiding you through 3 of the worst and 4 of the best Maserati models to own. The first name that deserves a red flag is the 2014 to 2017 Maserati Ghibli. This car was Maserati's bold move to compete with the BMW 5 Series and Mercedes E-Class, an Italian midsize luxury sedan with aggressive pricing and exotic flair. On the outside, the Ghibli looked like a winner. It had muscular lines, quad tailpipes, and that unmistakable Maserati snarl. But under the surface, it was a different story. Built on a Chrysler-derived platform, the early Ghibli was plagued with problems. Electrical gremlins, unreliable infotainment systems, misaligned interior finishes, and premature were on critical components. The ZF transmission in some trims could be clunky at low speeds, and while the V6 engines, originally built by Ferrari, had a nice bark, they didn't always deliver the reliability you'd hope for. Mechanics often joked that early Ghiblis were budget Ferraris with Chrysler wiring, and that's not a compliment. Ownership costs were high, depreciation was brutal, and for many, the ownership experience was a letdown wrapped in a beautiful body. Next up is the 2008 to 2012 Maserati Quattroporte, particularly the ones equipped with the Duo Select automated manual transmission. Now, the Quattroporte has always been a bit of an enigma, part executive saloon, part sports car, part opera singer. It had the looks, the heritage, and a glorious naturally aspirated V8 under the hood. But sadly, these early models were riddled with issues. The Duo Select gearbox, which tried to blend manual engagement with automatic convenience, was jerky, slow, and unreliable. Clutches wore out fast, and replacements were neither cheap nor quick. Suspension bushings would go bad like clockwork, interior electronics were notoriously fragile, and many owners found themselves developing a first-name relationship with their local Italian car specialist. Sure, the sound of that engine could make your heart skip a beat, but the ownership headaches would bring it crashing back to reality. Buying one today requires a deep wallet, a high pain threshold, and a mechanic who speaks fluent Italian. If you find the video useful, be sure to hit the like button to support us. Thank you. Rounding out the list of Maseratis to avoid is the brand's first SUV, the 2017 to 2019 Levante. When the Levante debuted, expectations were sky high. After all, Porsche had turned the Cayenne into a massive hit, and Lamborghini was on its way to launching the Urus. Maserati wanted in, and on paper, the Levante had promise. Available with Ferrari-built engines, standard all-wheel drive, and that signature Maserati look. But early production models suffered from a host of problems. Build quality was inconsistent, infotainment systems were slow and buggy, and interior materials in the base trims felt more Dodge Durango than Italian exotic. Some owners complained of suspension issues, odd software glitches, and frustrating dealership service. The engine might have been exotic, but the ownership experience often wasn't. Later models improved considerably, but those first few years left a dent in Maserati's SUV ambitions. But let's not dwell too long on the heartbreak, because despite the setbacks, Maserati has built some truly remarkable cars. Vehicles that not only capture the soul of the brand, but deliver performance, beauty, and reliability in a way that reminds you why the Trident badge still holds so much weight. Enter the 2013 to 2019 Gran Turismo, arguably the most beautiful car Maserati has produced in the modern age. Designed by Pininfarina and powered by a 4.7-liter Ferrari-built V8, the Gran Turismo is a rolling piece of art. Unlike many exotics, it's not trying to be the fastest car on the road. It's trying to be the most memorable. The naturally aspirated V8 sings all the way to Redline with a soundtrack that stirs your soul. Better yet, this Maserati has proven to be surprisingly reliable. Sure, you'll still need to keep up with maintenance, But this car doesn't suffer from the same volume of issues as some of its newer or older siblings. Owners consistently praise it for its smooth ride, timeless design, and long-distance comfort. It's one of the rare Maseratis you can actually enjoy on a daily basis without living in fear of a five-figure repair bill. Then there's the 2014 to 2019 Quattroporte GTS, which finally got things right. Gone was the dreaded Duo Select gearbox. In its place was a smooth, responsive ZF 8-speed automatic paired to a glorious 3.8-liter twin-turbo V8, again courtesy of Ferrari. This version of the Quattroporte struck a better balance between luxury and performance, with vastly improved interior quality, better tech, and far fewer mechanical nightmares. It's still a complex car and not for the faint of wallet, but for those who want a fast, elegant, and relatively dependable Italian sedan, the later Quattroporte GTS is where the smart money goes. It's not a BMW M5 rival, but it's not trying to be. It's a Maserati, more about character than brute force. Another modern Maserati that deserves real credit is the 2021 to 2023 Ghibli Trafo. Yes, the earlier Ghiblis were plagued with issues, but Maserati finally listened. The Trafo model took the Ghibli to another level, swapping out the V6 for a 580 horsepower twin-turbo V8 and sharpening everything from suspension tuning to interior quality. Suddenly, the Ghibli wasn't just trying to be Italian, it was Italian, loud and proud. The Trafo's performance was genuinely impressive, and it came with all the visual drama you'd expect from a high-end Italian sports sedan. Best of all, many of the early Ghibli's problems had been resolved by this point. Reliability improved, tech was modernized, and materials felt worthy of the price tag. The Trafo was proof that Maserati could learn from its mistakes and deliver a car that truly lived up to the badge. Finally, we come to the crown jewel of modern Maserati, the MC20. Launched in 2022, the MC20 is a clean-slate supercar built entirely in-house by Maserati. Gone are the borrowed Ferrari engines. In their place is Maserati's own 3.0-liter twin-turbo Nettuno V6, producing over 620 horsepower and revving like it has something to prove. The MC20 is fast, really fast. But what makes it special isn't just speed. It's the fact that Maserati finally created a car that could go toe-to-toe with McLaren, Porsche, and Ferrari on its own terms. It's light, balanced, and sculpted to turn heads wherever it goes. More importantly, early impressions from owners and reviewers suggest it's built to a much higher standard than past Maseratis. The interior is simple but high quality, and the technology finally feels modern. This car isn't just the future of Maserati, it's a rebirth. Owning a Maserati has always come down to one thing: passion. You don't buy one because it's the rational choice. You buy one because it makes your heart race, your ears tingle, and your driveway look like a work of art. But passion without reliability is a tough pill to swallow, and that's why it's so important to choose the right Maserati. If you're shopping in the used market, stay away from the problematic early Ghibli, the unreliable Quattroporte Duo Select, and the buggy first-gen Levante. These cars can be tempting due to low resale prices, but they're low for a reason. On the flip side, if you're after that Italian magic without the mechanical heartbreak, look to the later Gran Turismo, the refined Quattroporte GTS, the snarling Ghibli Trafo, or the stunning MC20. If you found the video useful, be sure to hit the like button to support us. And here is another video you'd like.